I'm Malcolm Van Delst, and this is an excerpt from Do the Wrong Thing, a book series or extra long novel that opens with a woman describing her suicide attempt as ordinary, like brushing my teeth. In an attempt to answer the question, why did I do it? She tells her life story. We're about a third through book 4, whose working title is Eyes of Different Colors. Last week, Ava was unsuccessful finding a lover and publishing poetry, but thanks to her male friends, was successful in shutting down her upstairs neighbor's classic rock. This is a continuation of a chapter called Army, Army, Chicken Army. You're just the kind of person we want in the army, the big, crew-crowded blonde says, his eyes like glass windows reflecting myself back at me. My head starts to swim. I'm going to be a lesbian for the whole time I'm in the army. The thought flits through my mind without any effort from me. For the whole time I'm in the army, I'm going to be a lesbian. We're sitting in the sergeant's office with its bottom-wooded, top-windowed walls. The sergeant is leaning across his desk, his head like a massive balloon, or like I'm looking through a fisheye lens. I lean back involuntarily and shudder, trying to remove a floaty feeling in my body. A smile flickers hesitantly onto my face. I didn't know any of the answers on the IQ test, so I stopped even trying. There was no way that I came across as smart on that test. Yet here's this guy smiling at me like I'm the best candidate in this bunch of, 30 people? I shudder again. I had decided to go back to school. I had lost my jobs at the restaurants because I hate being told what to do, hate being treated like I'm dumb. So I'm on welfare. I don't know why I hate work as much as I do. My parents were workaholics, and my mom, so extreme her teeth would grind uncontrollably as she polished floors, made curtains, made clothes for my brothers and sisters and I, and renovated the house into something that fit with the fashions of the day. Growing up, we all worked for her, Dad, more than anyone, trying to fill whatever hole she had inside. I didn't inherit the working gene, though. Boredom would always force me to act out. I'm not talking mild ennui, but a state so acute anything seemed preferable. Time would slow down until I could watch minute details of every microsecond. I remember my last day at my first job as a grocery store clerk. Hand to cart. Close fingers around item. Lift item. Move to shelf. Open fingers. Drop item. Maneuver item flush with existing items. Hand to cart. Close fingers around item. Or read item code. Punch appropriate buttons. Place item on conveyor belt. Smile. I cared about having jobs because I was supposed to, but I had no idea why I was supposed to. Welfare had made me take a test, a different one than the army one, an aptitude test. Fat, middle-aged, middle-class men telling me who and what I should be, how to join society. What a load of crap, I thought. I filled in their ovals with my short yellow pencil and did their puzzles. It was during the puzzles that I blacked out for a second and started remembering the dream I'd had the night before. I was in a tunnel with my brother, Stanley, who was giving me a hammer. I hadn't seen Stanley since Christmas. Welfare called me in afterwards. You scored in the top 0.2% of the population for hand-eye coordination, the caseworker said. That would be when I remembered my dream as I put the colored pegs onto the board, relaxing and enjoying the rhythm of that task and the colors. Do you want to go to Concord for 2 years to study graphic design? We'll pay tuition and basic living expenses. Is there nothing in Arbor? I responded, quaking at the thought of moving to the big city, so far from the family I never saw, but still wanted to be close to, in case I needed them. Not financially or for physical help, but if I got so desperate that I needed to see a familiar face. No, she said. There are no graphic design courses in Arbor. Can I think about it? Of course, but don't take too long. We'd like to get you started this fall, which is only a few months away. Okay, I said, knowing my answer already. I imagined myself wandering the huge cement labyrinth of Concord. Everyone in groups laughing and talking while I slunk alone against the walls. I imagined coming home from classes to a cold and empty apartment shared with strangers who wished I wasn't there or wished I had friends and went out now and then. My hands dropped to my sides like dead weights. No, I couldn't go to Concord. And that's how I end up looking into the eyes of a man whose eyes I can't see into, learning that I'm exactly what the Canadian Army is looking for. New chapter, new friends. Hey, Ava. I look up. It's Ian from high school. Holy, I say, it's been years. I still have a picture of Ian in my wallet. For some reason, we traded school pictures in my last year at Sebastian. We weren't friends, hardly even spoke. I remember being surprised that he asked. Ian, like Rob, was from Morrilton. He's thin and lithe. That's right. He was going to play baseball for some university in the States, but it fell through after his first year. He's shorter than I am, and there was something wrong with him. I think he sold drugs. He was opaque, not like the army sergeant, but more you could tell he was hiding something when you talked to him. He was part Pakistani, I think, which explains his dark skin. What have you been up to? His eyes flit over my body, but quickly, as if he hopes I don't notice. Looking for a job, I say. I want to go back to school. Really? What kind of job? Waitressing, probably. Oh, you have to apply at the Pioneer, right there. He points to a restaurant pub a few doors up. They're looking, he says. I used to manage there. Just stopped in to say hi to everyone. Tell them I told you to apply. Thanks, I say. No problem. Ian turns on his toes the way he does, all light and sprightly. Anyway, good to see you. He holds my eyes the same way he did in high school. I gotta go. Good to see you too, I call out as he leaves. I walk into the Pioneer. In the front, it's a family place. In the back, a pub where the city's journalists hang out. In the family part, there are 3 rows of booths, wide ones along each outer wall, while down the middle, narrow 2-seaters separated from each other by short partitions. The restaurant is not busy. It's 3 p.m. Hi, I say to a man at the back. Ian told me I should apply here. I'm looking for a job. Ian, eh? Teases the guy, his eyes bright and friendly. He's tall, with short brown hair, wearing a blue shirt and black dress pants. Have you got a resume? Yes, I reach into my bag. How do you know Ian? We went to high school together. Ian's great, says the guy. Everyone loved him. We want him to come back. I smile as I pull out my resume and hand it to him, trying to imagine Ian in this environment. Ian is kind of bad in my mind. I don't get it. Would you be interested in a weekend breakfast shift? The man asks as he peruses my resume. Sure, I say. Can you come back tomorrow at 11? Yes. After I realized I couldn't go to Concord, I looked for the closest thing to graphic design in Arbor. Spruce College had a 2-year advertising course. I'll take it, I thought. I'll learn the techniques, but use them for good. I'll only work for nonprofits and groups trying to change society. I'll counteract the sell mentality that's everywhere. This gave me hope and energy to comb through newspaper ads. I took modeling shifts at the Arbor School of Art. I didn't have much time, 3 months to make enough money before September. Fight fear, fight distress, fight chaos, fight with the Canadian Armed Forces. Basic training in Petawawa starts June 22nd. Apply now for our 9-week program. Earn $1,997 in 2 equal payments. It's not great pay, but it'll do the job, I thought. 4 days before running into Ian, I'd been to my army swearing-in ceremony. I was already a soldier. You'll have to pick up your backpack, fatigues, boots, and the rest of your kit in a couple of weeks, the same blonde told us at the ceremony. Watch the mail for your notice. On the day I was supposed to pick up my gear, I was working my 3rd shift at the Pioneer. I know I should have called the army, but figured they'd know what was up.